Hey, welcome back to the Dr. Jim Cares podcast. My name is Dr. Augustine from Head to Wellness. Today I'm going to be talking about why people get sick. The major health problems today are as follows: cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes. Once considered rare are now not only commonplace, but the most prominent diseases that we face today. Blood pressure, weight, fatty liver, low testosterone, PMS, and much more. So what do they all have in common? Insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? It's a reduced response to the hormone insulin. As more and more cells stop responding to insulin, you end up with insulin resistance. Progressively, you need more and more insulin to get the same response, and insulin just doesn't work as well. So what does insulin respond to? Yes, you've guessed it, sugar, also known as glucose in your blood. So the standard American diet is the major culprit, the food pyramid, consisting of a large base of carbohydrates. Above that is a smaller piece, which is protein, and at the very tip top is the smallest piece, which is fat. So who in this country doesn't love bread, pasta, potato, cakes, cookies, crackers, ice cream, pizza, and chips? Most are cooked with seed oils like canola, safflower, sunflower oil. What does eating this way do? Causes high insulin. So here's the sad truth. Most people with insulin resistance will ultimately die from heart disease, Alzheimer's, breast or prostate cancers, or some other lethal disease. Heart disease is the leading global cause of death today. Let's talk about what causes heart disease. High blood pressure dramatically increases the incidence of heart disease. Higher pressure makes the heart work harder. Let's talk about the cause behind the cause. High insulin causes high blood pressure. How? High insulin increases aldosterone, which is a hormone that's secreted by your adrenal glands that causes your kidneys to hold on to sodium, which is raise your blood pressure basically. High insulin causes higher blood pressure by thickening your blood vessel walls. Insulin is an anabolic hormone and causes growth of those endothelial cells that line the inside of your blood vessels. Endothelial cells become less responsive to insulin and don't produce that vascular dilating nitric oxide, and hence blood pressure remains elevated. Insulin resistance causes increased sympathetic activity, the special side of your brain and nervous system. That's the automatic side. It's also known as the fight or flight system. Dealing with stress, this constricts your blood vessels and remains increased while insulin remains elevated. Let's talk about cholesterol. Blood fats are known as lipids. As you may know, there are triglycerides, HDL, LDL cholesterol measured in the blood. HDL is supposed to be the good cholesterol, while LDL is supposed to be the bad guy. LDLs are broken down into particle size and density. Pattern A is the larger and less dense, like a beach ball, particles, which can float on top of water. Pattern B, however, is the more small and dense particles, like a baseball, which would normally fall to the bottom and hence do damage to your artery walls. So what does insulin resistance have to do with cholesterol? Insulin resistance drives the liver to produce more LDL pattern B. Insulin resistance makes the liver produce more LDL pattern B, which is a big problem, raising blood pressure. It's thought that pattern B particles embed into the endothelial walls, narrowing the blood vessels inside. Another problem is when blood fats and or cholesterol gets oxidized, which means the fats get damaged. Special white blood cells that are called macrophages, they engulf in the oxidized fats to protect the other parts of your cells. And over time, these macrophages get loaded with oxidized fats and are then called foam cells. These cells, there are lipids at the core of them, and that's the center of the atherosclerotic plaque. Additionally, another type of fat that's been implicated, polyunsaturated fats called linoleic acids or seed oils, like safflower oil. These oils are very easily oxidized. So here's the summary with regards to cholesterol, blood fats, insulin resistance. Insulin resistance promotes LDL pattern B, small and dense particles, which can carry the problematic oxidized fats that contribute to plaque. Another problem is the oxidative stress, can also increase insulin resistance. So in the bigger picture, the overall summary of all of this is insulin resistance can cause high blood pressure by increasing aldosterone, which holds on to sodium, therefore raising your blood pressure. Number 2, thickening blood vessel walls by the growth of the endothelial cells. Number 3, desensitizes your endothelial cells that they won't produce adequate levels of nitric oxide to dilate your blood vessels. Insulin resistance can cause increased sympathetic activity, causing more constricted blood vessels, increasing blood pressure. Number 5, insulin resistance causes increased LDL pattern B cholesterol production by the liver, which can carry more oxidized fats and embed them into your artery walls easier, thereby causing artery plaque, which increases insulin resistance even more. Pretty significant deep dive there, but I hope you get this. Insulin resistance is really the key causal level of most all terrible diseases that we run into today. If you have any questions about this or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Love to hear from you. If you need help with this, please email me at draugustine@gmail.com, or you can call my office at 562-860-3404. I'm also on social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, so please give me a follow there. Also on podcasting, Apple, Google, and Spotify podcasts. Please subscribe and give me a like there as well. My name is Dr. Augustine. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.